I have recently read that you consider the electrical transformers one of the most brilliant machines ever invented. Can you share with our community in more detail why do you think this, or how can these brilliant machines contribute to energy efficiency in various applications?
That's a sentence I like to use often. Because I'm deeply convinced of what it means, and I say it and I mean it for two reasons. So I say these machines are brilliant because they are simple, and simplicity is being brilliant and beauty. So these machines are passive electrical machines, so with almost no moving parts. Relying on a very simple physical principle of electromagnetic induction. I'm a chemical engineer, so when I first joined this industry, I was, let's say, fascinated because these sort of principles, you know that they work because you connect the terminals of a transformer and you observe the voltage transformation. So you know that it is there, but you simply don't see it. It's invisible to the naked eye. So in that sense, is brilliant, it's simple. Is still nowadays a machine that is manufactured, as we keep saying, manufactured, means almost handcrafted. So it's a kind of a Swiss-made clock, and on the other end, I also stress, and I also would like to stress how efficient they are. So thermodynamically speaking, a peak-loaded transformer in the electrical grids has an efficiency greater than 99%. So I would challenge the most curious listeners of our conversation to go and search for other machines on Earth that do what they are supposed to do with such high efficiencies. And if you find them, please drop
I will go back
drop me a line.
My next question that is closely related as well with this topic is, with the European Green Deal approved in 2020 and the Circular Economy Action Plan, the EU strongly commits to improving both energy efficiency and material efficiency. What strategies are being employed in the transformers industry to reach these targets? And what is Nynas doing to be more sustainable and bring circular economy to the transformers oils?
Very, very pertinent question. So policies are of utmost importance, and those policies are and will be critical. The electrical and the transformer industry in particular. Anyhow, this industry, as said, is a century-old industry, transformer industry. This industry never waited and sat back waiting for new policies. The industry is aligned and is chasing and perhaps leading those policies. Anyhow, for long years, I've seen this industry working towards energy and material efficiency. I used to hear in the daily corridors interesting jokes about how the transformers were apparently unchanged for the naked eyes from the outside, but how deeply they changed in terms of their internal design. So I used to hear jokes about old transformers and about switching on For instance, an old transformer manufacturer in the 70s or in the 80s, and if by chance someone forgot to immerse the transformer or to fill the transformer with oil, it would not fail. So it would even work with air. So alluding to the, let's say, to the conservative design approaches, the historical conservative design approaches. And so I've seen how that changed fast with new tools, new numerical tools, new advanced design tools. So that enabled over the last 10 to 20 years to make more compact designs. So let's say to make the same machines with a lot less material in equivalent terms. So in that sense, the industry has been evolving a lot. The manufacturers know this, the customers know also. So that's not new. And in the last years, yes, this industry has been particularly impacted by the Eco Design Directive, pushing for higher efficiency limits and trying to limit the losses while these machines are operating, let's say, in the electrical grids everywhere. And so, yeah, so these changes have been gradually implemented in tiers, well known in this industry, tier 1, tier 2, eco-design. So that has impacted, so the transformers are now different. Utilities over the years have been implementing in their, let's say, acquisition equations or in the total ownership equations, they have been implementing progressively loss capitalization formulas. So that is pushing also, that is being pushing in this industry for more and more, let's say, efficiency in terms of an overall efficiency, not only in terms of the material usage, but overall speaking, material plus losses. And last but not least, latest, what we are seeing in this industry and the upcoming changes will be precisely in that formula, the total ownership formula, and the latest changes and the latest introductions will be the environmental costs. We are already seeing pioneering end users discussing and implementing that, and I'm deeply convinced that that will be the upcoming latest change towards efficiency and in terms of energy and material usage, but also in a broader sense, which is the environmental sense in all its holistic perspective, namely the carbon footprint. So we are already seeing utilities now implementing and let's say valorizing, capitalizing in some way the carbon footprint of the transformer in the total ownership equation, and that will be definitely a game changer, and that will put again this industry in the leadership of
at the forefront,
of these policies.
Yeah, fascinating. Thank you. And at CWIEME, we want also to provide a platform to facilitate the next generation entering the industry and foster and encourage a more inclusive sector. This year we have a brand new program that is the Future Engineers to facilitate a dynamic exchange of ideas, and we are organizing different initiatives leading to the show and at CWIEME in May, to highlight the benefits that a diverse workforce can bring to the business. Could you let us know if at Nynas are there any initiatives to forge a more diverse workforce and fill the talent gap by bringing new talent to our industry? There are any kind of programs focus on this core sectors?
I'm rookie in the organization. Arrived last August. Might not know every let's say program in detail and in place. Anyhow, what I feel since I've joined it is more than the programs. I truly feel the practice of it, and I do believe in the practice, namely in mid-sized companies, let's say. I do believe in the proximity with the diverse workforce. So with younger talents, I do believe in and I'm seeing in the company that this is the daily practice. We do have persons in the company formerly affiliated or currently affiliated with diverse and inclusive organizations, with the academy. So we live by practice, and we do believe that the key is the proximity, is the language that you use, is how you talk, how you engage with everyone in an open way. So that's about promoting the values.
Yeah, very pleased to hear that. And based on your expertise, how do you think the next generation can build a more sustainable and diverse industry and contribute to a greener world?
They have more than capabilities to do so. That's not a question of capabilities. I'm part of the ones, if we can say so, that believe that the next generations tend to be better and have the best tools available to make better and make the difference. So it's not about capabilities. In this industry, they need to understand. They need to be brave. If I'm allowed to say so, they need to leave the industry. They need to understand it. They need to feel how strategic the electrical industry and the transformer industry is from the society, for the society as a whole. So our industry, which I'm very proud of, is not or may not look in a first glance the fanciest or the sexiest. When you look to a transformer, it doesn't look like the fanciest and sexiest machine in the world. Anyhow, the new generation needs to stay a critic. Must be willing to understand what is behind the first and the second curtain. This is not, let's say, a digital business. There is space for digital technologies, but it's not, let's say, a core digital business. The pace is not the short-term pace.
Yeah,
so the pace is accelerating in terms of capacity of delivering. But let's say, technologically speaking, the pace of change is not the pace of change of the new digital world. Anyhow, this doesn't make it weaker or less interesting. And for instance, that was precisely what staggered me, and what let's say challenged me when I first came across and joined this industry as a chemical engineer. I didn't believe in the beginning that there was a space for a chemical engineer in such an electrical machine. But yeah, this industry is truly multi-competence, so the next generation will for sure make a difference. It's just a question of opening themselves to what is this interesting century-old industry and how important it is for achieving our societal goals of decreasing emissions and electrifying the world.
Yeah, definitely, completely agree with you. Well, thank you, Hugo, for being here today at the studio and sharing your thoughts and vision. It was an insightful conversation and an outstanding overview of the transformers sector. And I'm looking forward to welcome you at CWIEME Berlin next May from the 14th to the 16th.
Thank you very much. Pleasure was
you.
mine.